Good Tuesday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain AccuWeather, coming to you by way of the Captain AccuWeather Command Center. On behalf of Weigel's Fuel and Food that's fast, fresh, and friendly, here's your East Tennessee and Weather Weigel's update. Did you know we had a mystery this week? We didn't know what the new milk would be, but all that's been answered now. Oh yes, the answer is pretty apparent by now. If you haven't tried out or checked out the new brownie batter milk, oh, it's delicious. It's chocolatey. I had to buy 2 bottles yesterday. It's just delicious. It's available for a limited time at a Weigel's near you, and it is available now. The all-new brownie batter milk. You remember when you were maybe licking the bowl of the brownie batter when Mom was making it in the kitchen? That's the type of situation here, and it's so rich and creamy. It's lovely. You got to grab a bottle of the brownie batter milk today. It's just better when it's fresh, farm to store in 24. It's just better when it's with Tennessee cows. Talking about the all-new brownie batter milk, of course, Weigel's, known for their flavored creations. They're very creative with their flavors of milk, so check them out. I think you'll be impressed. By the way, we got to talk about the weather because visibility may not be all that bad this morning. We have maybe some patches of fog in the Smokies, maybe up toward Jonesville, but nothing to get too excited about in terms of visibility. We usually talk about fogs in August. We're maybe seeing a little bit of fog here in July. Right now we have 72 in Sevierville, Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg at the airport there, 76, Oak Ridge and Knoxville, while it's 5 degrees cooler right now in Crossville. We're starting the morning pretty sticky. We have a 70-degree temperature in Rockwood. Want to say good morning to you. I'm doing a live stream on both Facebook and YouTube, and if you have a comment, I'd love to be able to share that with you. And for those of you who are watching, 71 in both Crossville and Wartburg and Jacksboro, while we have 74 degrees in Morristown. So it's a warm start. Normal low this time of year is 69, so we're running about 7 degrees above normal at this particular time. I want to say good morning to you. Got some interesting stats for you. Yesterday we were 1 degree shy of the record high. 97 was what we achieved. We hit 98 the day before, but 98 was the record high yesterday. It was a 3-fer, meaning we've had it hit it 3 times. If we were 1 degree warmer, we would have had a 4-way tie rather than a 3-way tie, because we hit 98 in 1995, 1980, and all the way back to 1899, so there's some stats for you. We picked up a trace of rain. We've had only 500s for the entire month. That's a problem, but that changes this week. And we had a gust of wind yesterday of 23 miles an hour. So what do you, I mean, all the things you want to know. Record high today is 1980. It's 100. We're not going to hit 100, but I think we'll hit 96. I think we'll hit 96 today. So if you've got a comment, let me know. These are the current temperatures as we see them here at 6:42 in the morning. I got good morning to Fred. Fred's on here. I want to say a shout out to Fred. Fred says good morning. He has 76 in Maryville, and he is grabbing some coffee at Weigel's. Glad to have you here, as Weigel's is my sponsor. Proud to have Weigel's as a sponsor for this weather segment. I got Danny on here as well. Danny is saying, Danny feedback saying, go Vols. Good morning, David. Hope you have a great day. Thank you, Danny, for that note. And Marilyn Bell is on here as well, wanting to let me know to have a great Tuesday. Hope she's praying for some rain. I think we all are at this point. And thankfully, it is in the forecast, so I can tell you things are going to change toward the soggier side of things as we round out this work week. That's for sure. Dew points are pretty sticky. They're in the upper 60s. So when you've got a 76-degree temperature, you have a 68 dew point temperature. What does that factor into? It's a good question. Maybe it makes it feel like it's a little warmer by 1 degree, right? At this hour in the morning, 76 feels like 77. May seem academic, but again, it is a perception-driven formula, so it may be feeling like it's in the mid to upper 70s where you are heading out the door on a Tuesday, the 16th of July. Where did the time go? By the way, we have some hazy sun expected as the sun continues to climb. A little bit of a glow in the sky this morning, I noticed, but most of the thunderstorms are in Illinois. They're back toward Indiana. The question is how much of that energy makes it here today. I have a 20% chance today. Not a whole lot, as we'll be moving some of that moisture into some drier air. Lots of heat concerns. We're talking about excessive heat warnings in Memphis, Shelby County, heat advisories in Nashville, in Davidson County, but nothing in East Tennessee. You can see along the I-95 corridor, they're purple, or if you prefer, fuchsia, and that refers to the excessive heat warnings. But the heat advisories in orange cover much of Boston, back toward New York City and further south along the East Coast, along the beaches of North Carolina and South Carolina. Real hot weather there, and more thunderstorms in parts of the Gulf of Mexico this morning. So this is the bigger picture. A lot of activity going on to our north and west, not far from St. Louis. I know what many of you are wondering. How much rain could we see just through 5 o'clock today? I would say very little, maybe a tenth of an inch. It's not going to get you too excited, but even if we got a tenth of an inch officially, that would double what we've had so far this month. Think about that. Only 0.05 for the first 15 days of the month. But now we've got a tenth of an inch projected, right? Maybe closer to a half inch in the Smokies. But let's just take you through the rest of the week. Could we recover? I say, yeah, we could. We certainly could. The data would suggest that. Maybe not by 7 o'clock on Wednesday, because now cumulatively we may have picked up a third of an inch, maybe a half inch in Morristown. But by the time we hit Thursday, now you're talking some serious amounts of rain has rolled back in. You say, oh, my lawn needs it, David. Oh, my tomato plants would really appreciate that rain, David. I agree. Cucumbers, green peppers, all the rest. But you take you through Friday. Let's take you through Saturday. Oh my, it just keeps on coming. You mean this pattern could change? Absolutely. Kind of like one of the staples with weather forecasting. The present doesn't always equal the future. And the future doesn't always equal the present. Just because it's been dry all these weeks doesn't mean it's going to be dry for the next couple of days. Do you see what I mean? It likes to change. Just like it is maybe a low tide at the beach in the morning, but you come back at 2 or 3 in the afternoon and it's high tide. You're like, where did all these waves come from? It's the same beach. And it's the same expectation. And we're going to get soggy, I mean 2, 3 inches maybe by the time we hit Sunday. That's what, 5 or 6 days away from now. So it's going to be an interesting change if it were to verify. But I think a rainy pattern is on the way. If you are keeping score, please note July 14th. July 14th. What's July 14th? July 14th is in fact the hottest day of the year so far. We hit 97, it looks like 3 times, but the reason 97 on Thursday, Independence Day, July 4th, is red is because we actually tied the record high from 1993. Because each day has its own respective record high and record low. So we hit, we've hit 90 degrees or higher now for 13 days of the month. We had 2 days at 87, but it has been a hot stretch, no doubt. When Saturday was 97, Sunday was 98, and it was 97 yesterday. I suspect 96 today is reasonable to expect here on a Tuesday, because it is the 16th of July. Let's talk about the averages. As you can see here, as I'm looking at comments too, Wanda says she's loving this. She says, I love that rain in your forecast. Probably makes everybody happy to see that. Wanda, thank you for that note. We pick up usually 34 days per year, but why be average? That's like telling an A student they should be a C student because that's average. No, I mean, if they study, they get an A, they should be an A. And some people that don't study, unfortunately, they get an F. But the average happens to be a C. If you take the A's and the F's, you get an average of C. That's why I say 34 is just a number. It's an arbitrary number, but we have surpassed the average. The average is 12 days in July. We've had 13. Today will be day 14. Tomorrow will be day 15. And then we'll put a kibosh. We'll put a stoppage to the 90s for a little while, because I do see more 80s going into the picture for Thursday, for Friday, for Saturday, for Sunday. We're back in the 80s, so we'll slow down the roll in terms of the 90-degree weather. This, by the way, comes by way of the National Weather Service in Morristown. They keep awesome records. But we've had now 27 days so far this year. If you add today, you add tomorrow, that'll put us up to 29, and we'll kind of hold at 29 for a little while. 18 was what we had last year, 41 days in 2022, 2021. I like to show you this because some people get alarmed when we have very many days, and they get alarmed when we have very few days. But that's Mother Nature. I mean, do you get alarmed when the moon is full, and then it's a new moon, I can't see it? It's just part of nature, right? You get both extremes. You get high tide, you get low tide at the beach. And as far as the hottest days, you got to go back to 1936. I did one step further this week for my premium members and shared it with you. The World's Fair. How important is the World's Fair 1982 from Knoxville's history? It's very important. In fact, did you know it occurred on May 1st to October 31st in 1982? The theme was Energy Turns Our World. Imagine that. Energy, we still talk about that today, energy turns our world. Recognized as perhaps the last successful World's Fair held in America. That's the way it's described. It was a very cool summer. The hottest day was 92, and they did it one time. We had only seven 90-degree days in 1982. So I like the contrast. I know that some of you do. and we still have the sun sphere, of course, years later, but it is something to note. It was those are the two extremes, the least and the most, I like to share with you. Right now we have a wind speed of 9 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour in Morristown. Temperatures are at 76 in Knoxville, 77 in, say, Nashville. By the way, if you're on the call, I'd love to say hi to you as I dropped my clicker here. Let me say hi to you. I see Carrie Aguilar is on here. She's wanting to say hello. I see she's got my favorite word over here. She's fantabulous. Her point of day is a good morning. Send some rain. My yard is crunchy. And stay hydrated. Absolutely great tips because, again, it's keeping hydrated not only for you, but for your pets. Make sure you check on your neighbors, old and young, because this can be taxing. I mean, another day at 96. It's going to be tough today. I've got us at 95 tomorrow, despite the fact we have storms coming in. 68-degree dew point in Knoxville. You see they're even higher further west, so the feels-like temperature this hour already in the low 80s in Memphis. That's why they're still under the excessive heat warning out in Shelby County in West Tennessee. As far as the humidity is concerned, it's going to continue to be with us. The green ooze doesn't ooze away. Not anytime soon, anyway. You can see it's either light green, or darkest green, but it will stay pretty sticky with dew points well above 65 plus in many cases. 7 a.m. Thursday, it looks like it's breaking around Louisville, Kentucky, but it really doesn't show signs of getting out of here in the short term until probably Friday. Friday's going to be probably our driest day of the next several days ahead. By the way, it's 6:51. I want to point out that the clouds will be kind of hazy, high, thin cirrus clouds from time to time, but there will be the potential for a pop-up storm to develop. 20% chance there. Sun came up at 6:32. It sets at 8:52. So our days are getting a little shorter. It was 8:56 just a couple of days ago. We've lost 4 minutes in the yeah, we have. 4 minutes in the evening has been shaved off since the summer solstice back at the end of June. By the way, 96 today, hazy, hot, humid, spotty storms. That's my expectation. As you can see out the door this morning, because I believe it is the 16th of July, we're going to be rapidly warming up into the mid-80s by 10 a.m. 10 a.m. I have us at 84, 93 degrees by 2, but 96 is where I expect we'll finish in Maryville, Alcoa, Newport, Del Rio, and Parrotsville. And if you're in Dandridge, you're in Morristown, Jefferson City, about 95 degrees. Want to say good morning to you if you're on the call. Just say thankful for you. We talk about the all-new brownie butter. You know, I was thinking about the baseball. National, UT being the National World Series champs for college. What's amazing is I think of batter, swing batter. That's probably a good way to remember the all-new brownie batter milk from Weigel's. Available for a limited time. Check them out. It's delicious. I have, like I said, I bought 2 bottles yesterday. I didn't want to just stop at 1. But farm to store in 24 is just better when it's fresh. Weigel's, a great partner for East Tennessee. They've been around here since 1931. It's just better when it's with Tennessee cows. The all-new brownie batter milk. If you like chocolate, double chocolate, triple chocolate, this is something you got to try. You got to try the brownie batter milk. It is delicious. Very thankful for Weigel's and having them as a sponsor. All right, let's go back to the forecast. As I want to round up here in 7 minutes, I think I could do it. 96 today at Oak Ridge. What about the hurricane season? It's gone quiet, right? There was a lot of expectation that we'd have a super La Nina developing, and some of that has been slow to develop. But at least we had Beryl, and that storm did cause a lot of havoc. But there's nothing on the map right now in the Atlantic. There's a 40% chance there in the Pacific, but nothing within striking distance of East Tennessee or in the Carolinas. Things look pretty quiet. That could change, as we know historically. A lot does change in the month of August and September. So it does ebb and flow. It's really on the low end of the scale, as you can see where my today arrow is. But we have a lot of climbing to do in the next coming weeks and months ahead. By the way, the next name on the list would be Debbie, followed by Ernesto, followed by Francine if you're playing the home game version. 76 right now feels, we talked about this, feels like 77. That's because we have a 68-degree dew point, and the temperature, again, is very warm to start, no doubt. As far as our valley planner, let's take a look at that. Average high is 89 this year, this time of year. We should be about 7 degrees above normal today. Again, we hit 97 yesterday, so if you were used to it, today's not going to be much different. We can continue to watch the potential for an isolated shower storm. I looked at 20% chance today. Good morning to Denise Jarbo. She's watching. Glad to have some folks watching live and some of you watch it on delay. Either way, I hope this information is of help to you. Precipitation chances, yay! That's what I'm talking about. Now again, 30% chance on Friday might be generous. That may drop to 20. But I still think we've got a high opportunity, high chance for Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's one of those lather, rinse, repeat, right? It's like it starts dry, and then as the morning wears on, it starts raining, and then we rain some more. I mean, it's going to be a situation you're going to feel like you're in the wash cycle as we head into the weekend. And some of you are going to be, yes, finally, bring it on, because I like a slow, steady rain because it's so dry. And as Carrie pointed out, the grass is rather crunchy. So crunchy grass, maybe the cure-all would be to bring in some slow-moving rain, and that's going to be the issue, I think, as we head into this week. But a 60% chance by tomorrow. So spotty storms today, showers and storms on Wednesday, and then a rainy pattern continues this week, as we've highlighted the chance. Now, the Storm Prediction Center, they don't go to sleep. They're working 24/7. They have some areas of the country that have great concern for severe weather in yellow. That would be scattered severe storms. 2 areas, in fact. One area would be in western sections of Kansas. The panhandle of Oklahoma, for example, they might have some scattered severe storms, as could Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. New York City, D.C. could have some rock and roll weather today, but it's going to be shy of our region. We have some thunder forecast, about a 20% chance, but I don't think it's going to reach severe limits, as Bowling Green and Lexington are under the marginal level 1 chance for isolated severe storms. Tomorrow, chance of isolated storms would be around Denver, Colorado Springs. Further east, you can see the I-95 corridor continues from Richmond, D.C., all the way up to Philadelphia, New York for scattered severe storms tomorrow. But it stops short. Really, the heart of East Tennessee, maybe parts of the Tri-Cities will have concern for some isolated severe storms, as could parts of North Carolina. Thursday's pretty ho-hum. We've got showers and storms in East Tennessee. Nothing severe expected. Area of dark green, Rapid City, South Dakota, but nothing here. As you can see, the areas in light green represent general thunderstorms. That means thunderstorms that are not expected to reach severe limits. All right, so let's talk about the future cast. You can see the big area to the north and west. I'm looking towards St. Louis. We've got some nasty storms there now. We're kind of caught in the pattern in the middle through the rest of today. That's why I don't have the chance very high, much higher than 20%. But come tonight into the wee hours of tomorrow morning, you'll notice the rain reappears. So I expect a mostly clear evening tonight, but the clouds will gather after midnight, and before you wake up, I'd say 4, 5, or 6 a.m., it could be raining like it is here. This is a 7:15 projection tomorrow morning, so rain may suddenly appear before the sun comes up on Wednesday. Speaking of Wednesday, this front gets a little closer, gets a little more aggressive, got showers and storms like so. It drapes across East Tennessee through Thursday morning, and I left a chance about 60%. But once that front gets further south, Friday looks dry for the most part. We could leave a 30% chance. Best chance will be Foothills Smokies, but that's 8 o'clock, 8:15. You can see there's a little green. A little bit of green by midday on Friday, but the most of the forcing is going to be further south in the Carolinas. That's why I say the best chance of rain is going to be coming back as we head into the weekend, and this front gets a little further north. Future cast. Let's pick out a favorite town. I don't see any rain at 9:30. Do you? No, I don't. Clouds may gather, maybe a few hit or miss showers, maybe in the Smokies by 12 noon, but there's a possibility. We could get a few green dots here. There's 2 o'clock. We're still warming up to around 96, and maybe another round of showers in the foothills and Smokies by 4 o'clock this afternoon. But if we don't get much rain today, fear not. That doesn't mean the pattern's not going to come into play. There's a little shower. What was that, 6 p.m.? That's 6 p.m. This is just another solution, but it shows you around Knoxville. A little shower that may develop between 4, 5, 6 p.m. We'll keep an eye on it. But again, it's not going to be necessarily the cures all with the rain today. Heading into tonight, maybe mostly clear for a while, but overnight it starts to show signs of coming back. More pop-up showers. I left a 60% chance tomorrow. And tomorrow's high temperatures, I think, also has the possibility of getting back into the low to mid-90s. About 95 is my expectation on Wednesday. So there's still some opportunity for rain, no doubt. It is 6:59. It is time for your forecast. 96, hazy, hot, and humid, spotty storms, the 3 H's, and what about the winds? Winds will be about southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. We look ahead to the today forecast, 94 if you're in Wartburg, 96 from Madisonville, Tellico Plains, and 95 for Morristown, White Pine, and Talbot, 94 for Middlesboro. If you're traveling today, Atlanta should see a high around 93 with more thunderstorms, and that's not a misprint. They could hit triple digits today in Nashville. as probably a little closer to 100 in Memphis too, given the excessive heat warning that they're under. Charlotte could be around 98, as could be Columbia, South Carolina. So for tonight, we're down to 73. Might be a mostly clear evening, but expect clouds to increase and storms to develop late. Winds about 3 to 8 miles per hour. Tonight, we're down to 71 Morristown, 69 Wartburg, 73 for a low temperature tonight in Maryville in the heart of Blount County. All right, so that's the tonight forecast. Let's get to the Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for the next 7 days. Your Weather Authority forecast, 96 today. Could we hit a record today? No, I think we're out of reach. That would be at least 4 degrees below that 1980 record, but that's okay. 95 on Wednesday. Record high tomorrow, I believe, is also like 101, so it's triple digits, out of reach. But a 60% chance of storms on Wednesday. 83 much cooler degrees on Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're in the mid-80s, and the chance of rain will come back. Not the whole time. Please don't think that this is a washout for the weekend, but just know it will be continued unsettled, which means with the heating of the day, you're going to feel like you're lathering, rinsing, and repeating. It's one of those situations where it's going to be unsettled from time to time. I want to thank you so much for your time. By the way, as I check some of the comments, we'll see if I have one other comment here. Kevin's on here. Kevin's one of my premium members. He's on here. He says, I'm rooting for some rain to at least somewhat cool things down. I agree with you, Kevin. We're overdue, and it will eventually come back into play. And my friend Carol's on here. She wants to say a note here too. Carol says, rain in the forecast makes me happy. I think it makes a lot of us happy. But Carol, your note is very much appreciated. I hope everybody has a wonderful Tuesday, no doubt. By the way, if you haven't picked up a bottle of the all-new brownie batter milk, what? I didn't know they had such a thing. Yeah, they just came out. Just came out. The all-new brownie batter milk. So when you're filling up your tank, your gas tank at a Weigel's near you today, make sure you pick up the all-new brownie batter milk. If you love chocolate milk, if you love double chocolate milk, this is like licking the bowl of the brownie batter from Mom from the kitchen. It's one of those delicious chocolatey tastes. I love it. It's rich and creamy. You will love the all-new brownie batter milk. It's just better when it's fresh with farm to store 24. It's just better when it's with Tennessee cows. The all-new brownie batter milk. It is delicious. Pick up a bottle today. And by the way, I want to say thanks to our friends at Weigel's. Maybe you're going to pick up a cool drink. They sell those too. They sell those in condition to hot coffee, which will wake you up for sure. Anyway, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.